But bro, KOZEE CHIKWENYA,
Yes,
welcome
sir.
again, bro. Welcome again. We're coming for part 2. You know we had to double back just to see how things are going on your end. And man, Ward 58, KOZEE CHIKWENYA,
Yeesh.
bro. We're pushing the agenda right now.
Good to be back.
It's good to have you on the pod because it was so interesting to have you the first time. Just exploring some of your work, literal work, like actual dog walking work. And now we're doubling back again because you on this single and album run, for the Enter the Dragon project.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about that first. Like, what's the timeline looking like?
Timeline next year, January.
Is a Capricorn drop? Is that the move?
That's the move, bro.
Okay. And you very much have been around this ethos of like Bruce Lee and like physical presence and like pushing that energy. So I watched your other podcast. I think it was Babble
Yeah, Babble
podcast.
Yeah,
We'll shout out to those guys. We'll put a link in the
it's
description.
Yeah.
Shout out Sia. You spoke about like that kind of being the influence, the Bruce Lee influence for this tape. You want to speak a bit more about that?
Of course. Bruce Lee, the concept of discipline and self-mastery. And I think from watching his movies and also his philosophy, I got the sense that it was not being perfect, but being consistent. And then I think also joining a dojo and learning kickboxing as well, kind of like, because they call me Lee.
That's crazy work.
Right.
Which came first? Was it the idea for the project or you joining the dojo?
I've always wanted to make a concept project.
Okay.
Because of artists I listen to, I'm like, hey, let me try this and give it my own little spin. And the ideas was always there. But then once I joined the dojo, it was kind of like, like a sign, like, yo, they're calling you Lee. You're learning how to fight. You have this idea, concept of making an album around Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
It's to try it out, go for it.
I mean, I can tell you now, before we continue with the questions, there's definitely like a physical presence difference between you now and you in the first podcast. And I think people might be able to see it, but the camera sometimes lies, but like in person, your boy has like his physical presence points has like, I don't know, multiplied, which is definitely a good sign.
No dreads.
I'm not even speaking about the dreads because I feel like I'm a bit sad about that because the dreads did like kind of push a specific aesthetic. Yeah, did push, and that agenda works so well in Cape Town. But I've noticed a lot of homies who actually did cut the dreads for whatever the reason. It wasn't for work, was it?
No.
Okay,
No.
it was just a choice.
It was a choice.
What was are you able to share the choice behind it?
I mean, I don't mind sharing. So the choice is honestly, I didn't see myself having dreads later in my life.
Oh, okay.
So I was kind of like consulting with the higher self.
Wow.
If I may
Okay.
put it
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
It's like similar to, I was like thinking about this idea of when I used to smoke cigarettes and then I was working out. It was like a little.
It was conflicting.
It was conflicting, and then I was like, I actually don't like smoking, and I don't want to smoke. So why like tell myself, oh, I'm gonna stop next week when I So it's like, rather do it now.
Amazing. So you just dropped a song, which is directly tied to Enter the Dragon. Tell us a bit about that and kind of the process behind it.
That song, Enter the Dragon, took me quite some time to make. I got the beat from a producer who I met at the dojo. Crazy.
Wow. Crazy work.
Yo, And I sat with that beat for I think like I got it like probably like March, and I only had the song concept in like June. So I would like just freestyle in the mirror,
Wow.
like ideas, write, scratch out some stuff, and then at a certain point I was like in varsity,
Yeah.
after school, just writing, and I got the Cape Town city where you at, and it just like landed perfectly in the pocket. And then after that, I think whenever you get the hook first in a song, like if
It
it's
works.
good,
It works. Yeah, definitely.
if it's a good hook, the verses just flow.
Sometimes you can get the hook, get a fire verse, and then even get a better hook because the initial hook made the verse so fire that you're like, nah, I can even make the hook fire. Yeah.
And then yeah, after that, recorded the song. I think it was, yeah, I haven't like changed anything from that.
You want to shout out the producer?
AMEEN, HARRON.
Shout
That's
out.
the man on the.
He's also pretty big. He's moving here in Cape Town. I know, because I've seen it, for a couple of years, him doing the stuff. So like, definitely shout out to him. I wanted to talk about the YouTube because not only are you dropping music on the YouTubes, you're also dropping some food for thought videos. You want to tell me about that?
Food for thought. It's inspired from just wanting to improve my life, right, and become a better, more competent individual for me and also for my family.
Wow.
And through that, I've learned about like what it takes to succeed, right? You gotta put in the work over a long period of time.
Yeah.
And it kind of ties back into the dog walking thing, going door to door. And then I just didn't want to make it about me, as like just talking about myself and my progress. I also wanted to help other people who are also maybe on the same journey, maybe feeling like they are alone in terms of, because like when you go for something big, like have a big goal, like it's you feel like you're alone because there's so much rejection that you face.
Oof, yeah, true.
And everybody else is kind of too scared to chase that because of rejection. And then like me, when you're on it, you kind of see, oh, this guy's pushing his thing. I see he might also maybe value this kind of information if I put it out there. And then also just from hobbies of like reading and trying to better my mind and my body, I try and share that. And I think it's developing over time as well, because I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing on there, but I know if I'm consistent enough for a long enough time, it'll come through.
Definitely. That's like really powerful stuff. And so the main goal is not even to kind of blow up because of that, or like blow up because you're trying to be, for lack of better words, a guru.
Yeah.
It's because it feeds into the music again. It's like, okay, yeah, this is kind of maybe the behind the scenes of my thought processes, and then people can maybe draw some of the parallels between, okay, this is kind of what you've been reading in your spare time, or this is kind of what you've been exploring in your spare time, and then maybe this is how it reflects in the music. I don't know if that's something.
No, that's 100%. It all like ties in together.
Well, and I mean, you just started it recently, actually, like maybe like 3-4 months ago, right?
Yeah, I was looking at like how many posts I made, like I think like last night, and I was like, oh, it's been like 4 months, 3 months already.
Wow.
Jeez.
Moving. Moving. What have you learned from the process of making videos, actually, seeing as I've noticed that you've made a concerted effort to be more, in front of the camera, not necessarily behind the mic all the time, but like actually, trying to, in different avenues.
I mean, I think it's because of the content I consume, like watching podcasts and stuff. And from that, I got the idea to be in front of the camera, like visually, so I can build that brand.
Wow.
And the trust with audiences. And I think seeing me speak about something, it kind of connects to the person, not necessarily more than the music, but they can then tie it to the music, and
Mm.
it's I don't know, it's more quicker.
Oh,
It
way.
gets attention much more faster than the song.
Oh, way. I also discovered something very interesting on that podcast you were on, the Babble podcast. Library and information studies. What does this mean to you?
This means getting skills that I use, might or may not use, but at the moment it's just education, academic wise.
Has any of the information kind of influenced how you move forward now, like especially in the music?
Honestly,
We can be honest, yeah.
n-
I'm not gonna grade
n-
you.
I wouldn't say the library information science has helped me yet,
Mm.
but I do psychology on the side, so that's been
Is
helping
that
me.
one of the electives of the?
Yeah.
Okay,
Um.
very powerful to learn. Yeah.
Yeah. So I learn about the mind and things. So I think that's kind of like helped me understand.
How's university been in general?
It's been a breeze, bro.
A breeze.
Yeah.
That's not really a thing you should be saying, but admitting. But okay, yeah.
I mean, in terms of like the discipline and like just putting in the time, it's you realize like if you put in the time, maybe not try and cram everything the day before the assessment and just put in like 10 minutes a day
Yeah.
over like 2 weeks, you have the work done.
To give you credit is that you actually developed discipline before you started, right? Especially with the door to door and like,
Yeah, it's
which is
ongoing.
ongoing, and it's also, I would consider, being 10 times harder than like just sitting down and making sure you like, methodical with information.
Yeah, man. Because times come and when I'm like, yeah, do I really have to do that assignment?
Mm.
But yeah, man.
So you say it hasn't given any like really conscious influence on the music just yet?
No, not exactly. I think maybe it's subconsciously like affecting my like other parts of life, not exactly the music.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe I'll make a rap about like cataloging,
Yeah, that's funny, man.
shelving all the other rappers.
What, Dewey Decimal?
Exactly.
Stacking up this paper like I'm Dewey Decimal. I see the vision, man. Another thing that I from my research is that Lil Wayne happens to be on your Mount Rushmore. If not on the Mount Rushmore, somewhere adjacent with regards to MCs that you hold in high esteem. How did you feel about the latest album? Did you?
I haven't listened to it.
You haven't listened?
I haven't listened to a lot of like Lil Wayne's new stuff recently. I don't know. I've just been what's the word? Exposed to so much other artists.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that. Like, what have you been listening to?
At the moment, I'm listening to Lupe Fiasco.
Sheesh. And he's dropped some fire stuff recently too.
I've been listening to his album Samurai for like after it dropped, but like how
based on Amy Winehouse, an alternative universe Amy Winehouse, which is like incredible.
Yeah,
the fact that like, I mean, just speaking on concepts of albums alone, like imagine adding like 2 more layers to a concept, like just that alone, brilliant. I mean, the fact now that you've entered the dragon, you're in a dojo, now you find out the dojo is a library of knowledge, information systems, decimal system. It all kind of it all ties together in some way, and you can find a deeper way. But I'm big time supporter of Lupe Fiasco. I think for me, especially the mural project, insane work. Even Drogas Wave, the one where he like kind of hinted at trying to like put in the trap elements in, The one that came after that was even like more into, I think, Something in Zion.
That's the one with Mural. Wait, no.
No. This is a bit later than that.
There's Mural 2 on there.
Mural 2 is on there.
It's Drill Music in Zion.
Drill music. Oh my gosh.
At first, I looked at the cover and the name. I was like, "Is this like some alternative stuff?"
Yeah.
And then I peeped and I was like, "Oh, geez.
Brilliant. I think really early on in like my hip hop and like rap sort of awakening, Lupe just, especially like Food and Liquor, just that alone, you know, he was, and this is why I understand his beef with Kendrick Lamar, because the same way Kendrick did Swimming Pools, which was like a double entendre or even a triple entendre of like, yo, I'm speaking about frat party culture for the white boys who are going to pay for my concerts, but underneath I'm making an indictment against, you know, alcoholism, and I'm showing the layers of like nuance in which, you know, alcoholism has destroyed the hood and all of that, but I'm putting it in a party song. Like, brilliant. And Lupe was already there and arguably more intense. That's why maybe he like let it he let himself become obscure and not just stay in the mainstream sort of wave.
Yeah.
I have my whole theories on Lupe Fiasco. We won't make this podcast about Lupe Fiasco because we have our own Lupe Fiasco here in Cape Town.
Yes,
KOZEE CHIKWENYA. Yeah. Besides Lupe, anybody else interesting?
Besides Lupe, I don't know. I've been listening to a Dojo playlist. You know, it's got some mixture.
Dojo playlist. Is this from Spotify or like you made it yourself?
No, it's like the coach there. He plays a playlist of some old.
Shout out the coach. Who's the coach?
Kurt.
Okay.
Coach Kurt. So there's like Trillmatic by ASAP Mob. Like, I had like, I don't know, I think I've heard it, but like
the context changes once you're like doing a physical activity with a song. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know, there's some like reggae / hip hop. I think it's Buntu Banson.
Oh yeah.
Champion.
Buju Batong.
Okay, you said it better than me. Yeah. And then I listen to a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just inspired by creative elements in music.
Nah, that's amazing. One thing that I found interesting now about your answer is that you're not actively trying to consume new music, or you're not actively looking for new music. You're kind of being put into environments that expose you to music. Do you feel that you're at the stage now where you kind of know what you like and you have like kind of solidified in your tastes, or do you think there's still like some room to explore?
I definitely think there's always room to learn new sounds, new ideas. Like, I think I also like even listen to like traditional Zimbabwean music where they speak in Shona
stuff,
and I hear like the way they layer the vocals, and I'm like, maybe I should like layer my vocals as well. So I'd listen to other stuff just to find ideas into how I can upgrade my arsenal.
Nah, definitely. Like with regards to that, even like I discovered like some really interesting Maskandi stuff, and like, you know, looking at South African genres that, you know, were kind of dominant before this wave of Amapiano and stuff like that. Like, we have been, as Southern Africa, we have been on the forefront of like exploring sounds for so long, especially if you look at what is called like new age, new wave rock in the West, UK, America, was based on Maskandi, and was based on what the people like Simon Garfunkel and all of those guys were able to, and Paul Simon, sorry, and Art Garfunkel, like them being inspired by what happens here. There's obviously a whole bunch of other white bands that I don't have the names for, but like even newer stuff is like so influenced by how we've taken instruments and like explored their possibilities sonically and also vocal stuff. Like, I mean, Ladysmith has inspired so many like choral backgrounds to a lot of tracks. Even Ghana, yeah, sampling. What's her name?
Shoma Josie's that.
Shoma Josie,
Oh, it is.
and it became a massive song. So Shoma Josie needs more clout, guys. We need to give her that. I don't know if she's in any cancellation type stuff, but like I feel she needs more. I really like the fact that she's putting on like what is not necessarily mainstream pop music and making it very pop. I saw kickboxing involved with you somehow. Is this tied with the dojo stuff?
Yeah, that's where I do the kickboxing.
So the main martial arts is kickboxing.
Yes, and jiu-jitsu.
And jiu-jitsu. And with regards to the kickboxing, I've seen you in matches. Are these sparring matches? Or are you trying to push some real I think they call it exposition matches or what exposure matches? It's not like fully pro, right?
It's like amateur.
Amateur, yeah.
Yeah. I've been to a sparring match, but I haven't actually fought my first amateur match.
Okay.
And
so not in the pit where people throw money at you. Yeah, KOZEE.
No, I don't think I'm planning on like taking it like seriously in that regard. But I want to still rap, man.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's just challenging myself, putting myself in that position where I learn how to take a punch.
Away.
And just learn how to fight in general so I can protect myself and my girl.
Okay.
If I get one.
Put his Instagram below, ladies.
Yeah.
You can see this man is building himself up for a better future, your better future. You've performed a bit now. I've seen you do a couple of open mics and definitely some been on the posters for a few events. How is the music scene in Cape Town? This is a very important question. I saw a TikTok recently about podcasts in South Africa. They worry too much about, gossip and we need to speak more about the local scene. So
I think in Cape Town there are some places where there is almost collaboration between hosts, MCs, allowing up and coming musicians to come in and showcase their art. Like the Obscene Parrot, like the
shout out Obscene Parrot Network, 2 N's.
Soulful Live too, bro.
Soulful Live. We out
and
here.
Then I don't know. Then you get some guys who are like just like gatekeeping.
It's the money printer. I understand. People want to get money on cloud. It's how the game works sometimes.
And it's weird because you talk to these people and they like tell you, oh, we're gonna
let's work, bro. Let's work.
And then like
no WhatsApp. Then you're like, you got me on Insta, right?
You follow, they don't follow back. But you talk to these guys.
Some of these accounts are private, so it's like you follow. Like, dog, you can follow back. Your account is private, bro.
And then you reach out and they say, oh, I'm gonna get back to you. Then time passes, they put another guy on who's been there already, and you're like, damn, okay, maybe like let me be patient, let me wait. Boom, 6 months. Oh shit.
It's like Johnson and Johnson, bro. They're working with Diddy. They learned the ways.
And then
need to oil people up to get in.
So I mean, I appreciate the guys who are collaborating and allowing MCs and artists to come and do their work, but also like I'm not gonna
you're not chasing after people
I'm not gonna chase those guys who are gatekeeping, right? I'd rather build with those guys who are already doing it or do something on my own.
Nah, I feel that.
That's how I feel about Cape Town, bro.
This is not a knock against anyone, but best venue and why?
So far the best venue, it has to be a ground culture, man.
Wow. And why?
I like the open space and the the placement of
I'll send this to Bash. Bash will be so happy to hear this.
the placement of the stage, and I can breathe in there and connect with the people.
Powerful stuff, man. Powerful stuff. KOZEE Chikwenya, it's always great to talk to you, bro. And I mean, we could talk for another 2 hours. I have a lot of non-music related stuff that I can speak to you about, but yeah, man, it's always great to have you on, and hopefully this will really also kind of open up people's minds about beyond music, what the connective tissue is here in Cape Town, and how we can build it and make sure that it's healthy and thriving. And also, yeah, having more discussions like this, as that TikTok clip said, more podcasts speaking about the music and the culture, and not just the gossip and who's fighting who, and the beef, and why we don't like Aries. We like him, man. Shout out. Bless up, Broski.
Thank you, bro, for having me.
It's for the fade